Welcome back, everybody. This is our 11 a.m. lecture here today with Jamie Dorley, CEO and owner of World of Wellness and Nutritional Frontiers. If labels could talk, what would they say? And I have to say, this is one of my favorite lectures that you do. And I think it's so important, not just for healthcare professionals to know, but for people to know when selecting products. So, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Tracy. Thanks so much for having me back on. I'm really excited. We are in the middle of the Wine and Wellness Week at World of Wellness. Same location, new and improved, of course. And we're doing our Fall Fiesta Wellness Week. So we have the free, healthy, organic food right out front from 11 to 2 today. So don't miss out on the free, healthy lunch. We have workshops going on all week this week. We are live in the Wellness Center. You can also participate with the live stream or pick up the recording. During this week, we have the new smoothie bar open. Do you want a free smoothie, Tracy? We can deliver it for you right down the road.
We don't have the virtual app yet.
Brady's Berry Blast was a big hit on Saturday, and we have many different flavors of smoothies, plus all the fruit and veggie powders, the greens, reds, oranges, and purples, about 20 different samples to try, free literature, discounts on everything. And we have some free testing opportunities available on Thursday and Saturday with the Zyto scan. So all you need to do is give us a call, 412-922-9355. Schedule your Zyto scan. You can come down. You do not need to be a patient. You do not need to have an appointment to come down and shop around and take advantage of all the great things we're offering. And you can also get anything you like shipped right to you, take advantage of the discount, and get free shipping. Just give us a call, 412-922-WELL. That's 412-922-9355. And sometimes people need something today. So we do the curbside pickup. Maybe you don't have time to come in or don't want to come in. That's fine. Place the order ahead of time. Let us know about when you're going to be here. Pull up the back and give us a little toot on the horn, and we'll come out and deliver it right to your car. And you take full advantage of that. So any which way you like it, we're here to help you at the Wellness Week. And you did a fantastic job, as always, Tracy, with the incredible amount of speakers, the quality of speakers, and the wide variety of speakers. So I want to thank you. And thanks, of course, to the guy behind the scenes who never gets much credit. That's Phil, of course, doing a great job here on the board. And when people said it wasn't possible to do this live stream and live, Phil said, I will figure it out. So thanks, Phil and Tracy, doing an awesome job. So this is one of my favorite topics. Before we jump into it, I just want to let people know that you can make an appointment here to see any healthcare professionals. We are accepting new patients. So we do have doctors of chiropractic, doctors of naturopathic medicine that specialize in weight loss and GI. We do muscle therapy. We have the applied kinesiology, the allergy elimination technique, plus take full advantage of all the educational opportunities, not only at the World of Wellness, but also Nutritional Frontiers, between the videos, the live streams, the radio shows, the newsletters, all the different ways you can join us as a partner in our wellness journey. So if you want to make an appointment, please schedule ahead of time. Sometimes we can get walk-ins, but if you want to sit down with somebody for 30 to 60 minutes, please schedule ahead of time. And we are accepting new patients, very affordable and excellent services for you. So before we get into the presentation, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between going to the World of Wellness versus buying products. There's no shortage of vitamins out there. I mean, in fact, you can buy them from Amazon. You can buy them from the grocery store if you'd like. Even the gas station was selling CBD for a while, and we saw how that turned out. So it's not just about the product, but Nutritional Frontiers has it called the NF for Life Lifestyle Program. This goes back to even before Joe Massino, way back to Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. And he said, let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. So based on that, we wanted to make sure that people focus on self-care. So the NF for Life is a lifestyle program that teaches you about what you drink, what you eat, your movement, your emotional wellness, digestion, and sleep. And that's the foundation. The same thing I did 30 years ago as a certified personal trainer, and same thing that Jeff Nizik still does today. So you need to have a lifestyle program because you can't out medicate or out supplement a bad lifestyle. And lifestyle alone is not enough anymore. So we're going to show you how today to incorporate the lifestyle, and then more importantly, how to read labels, because the labels do talk. You may not understand what they're saying. So Tracy, what was the concept when you came out with the Great Pyramid of Health? You want to comment on that a little bit, because people really love the program that you created. So how do you use this in your practice?
Yeah, well, I use it as a teaching tool. I like to show people the Great Pyramid of Health and just say, you know, this is basically what we're going to build your house on, is this strong foundation of nutrition, hydration, movement, sleep, emotional, spiritual wellness, and elimination. And then these are kind of like the nails in your house. So if you're not going to eat this, you have to take this. So if you don't have good fermented foods in your daily diet, you don't have good enzymatic foods like fruits and vegetables, then we need to take a supplement. If you're not getting enough protein, carbohydrates, and fats, then we need to take a shake or a supplement. If you're not getting enough good fats, we either have to eat more or take a supplement. So it was kind of like an if-then. So people could really choose, changing their lifestyle. And then, do I want to take a supplement or add in more foods that are going to be beneficial? And a lot of people just like to have a nice supplement regimen. And I told them, it's part of your grocery list. This is not something that's an addition. Like, this is part of your monthly grocery list that you put together for a budget. And they really appreciated that, because sometimes I think they separate it. It's like, this is my food and these are my supplements, when it should all be one thing. So that's how I use the pyramid. And then at the top, it was the condition specific, like, what's the ouch? Like, why did you walk into my office today? Because if you take care of your foundations, you add a good foundational supplementation, most of the time, 70% of your symptomology will be gone and you'll feel 70% better. And then there may be one or two things that we have to address specifically. So that was the concept behind it. And actually, Candace and I put this together based on the program. And it's actually been a great tool for me in my practice and a great way to explain it to people.
Yeah, I love it. You guys did a fantastic job. The thing I really like about this is that it builds the foundation, and that people understand that these are food and food-based vitamins and supplements, right? Because I think a lot of times, even some of our clients and your colleagues, they do what I call green medicine. So someone says, oh, I have high cholesterol. Instead of a statin, give me a cholesterol red. And there's a time and place for that. However, when you utilize the Great Pyramid of Health and the lifestyle program, you will get better results long-term. So we don't want to negate all the lifestyles. So we want to combine them. And, I remember for me, for a long time, I didn't do a lot of the colors. I was doing a lot of fruits and veggies. And then this year with the new greens, I transitioned to use that. So you can incorporate the supplements and the food and interchange them whenever you need to, based on your schedule and what's going on in your life. So I love this. Great program. So I want to start with some samples scores. This is an interesting thing that they came out with scores to identify what foods have the highest nutritional value. And if you look all the way at the bottom, Coca-Cola, I don't even know how they got a 0.6, but they did, right? Vanilla ice cream, processed oils, potato chips, French fries, American cheese. These are what a lot of people do on an everyday basis, even juices and milks, right? So I like this because a picture says 1,000 words. And speaking of 1,000, kale topped it out, right? So some of my favorite vegetables are broccoli, kale, spinach, collards. Those are all much higher on the score level. So doesn't mean you only eat that. It just means that you want to combine these foods together so you get the maximum nutritional value, and stay away from those really low bottom feeders on the right hand side. So even sometimes for some people it could be too much sugar in fruit. So combine it. I love the rainbow approach to the diet, and I like to do it with food, but I also like to do it with the phytonutrient powders. These are fruit and veggie based powders that have been fortified with different nutrients so that you can make sure you're getting a variety. Because the one problem I find, Tracy, is that, certain foods are in season, other foods are not. So I like doing the greens because it has all the different fruits and veggies in one. Plus there's nutrients you can't find at the grocery store that are in some of the colors, including the green. So you get things like the emollient, the patent glutathione, In the oranges, you get ashwagandha, which is a good stress reliever and helps your adrenal glands. You know, in the reds, you're getting things like CoQ10. In the purples, you're getting alpha GPC for the brain. So these are all fruit and veggie based. And you normally pay for convenience, right? I'm drinking a cup of water. If you buy one bottle of water, it's about $2, and a gallon's probably two. So this is an example of you actually get a better value and savings when you get convenience. Because if you bought all the food that's in these containers, it would cost you somewhere in the $200 to $250 range. However, when you buy these containers, you're going to get them for about $1.50 a day. So very rare that you get convenience and value, and this is an example of when you can do that. So a lot of people ask me, well, who takes these and when, and can kids do them? So what are your thoughts?
These are my favorite products for kids to replace those Gatorades, and they taste great. You can make popsicles out of them. But I know that we rotate through these, so I keep them in my house, and that's one of the things I suggest with clients is you should have a container of each in your house, and you just take a scoop of one every day. So you can do lean greens on Monday, and Tuesday you do the oranges, and Wednesdays you're on the reds, and Thursday you're doing the purples, and then you just start over. Friday you're on the greens. And it's just a way to keep constant nutrition coming in and high compliancy. I mean, you're going to drink something every day. And I think probably Coca-Cola made that because of the water in there. That's about the only reason.
It was almost 0.0. That would be my score for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the greens. I did oranges for a long time, and I'm on a greens kick this year. So you can rotate these through. You can find your favorite. I love to fortify my shakes like Power Shake, the Power Cleanse, or Super Shake with the greens or any of the colors. The other day I tried this orange dreamsicle. It was fantastic. Do you like that, Phil? Yeah, it reminded me of Orange Julius. So you take the vanilla protein with the pro oranges. So folks, this isn't 1980 when I started doing protein shakes. They were really terrible. The nutraceuticals now, the phytonutrient powders, the proteins, tastes great. There's no punishment here. And we have a recipe guide. So you can customize it yourself. You can try the recipe guide. The other thing I like with the colors is that a lot of people, complain that they get bored with water. We call it flavor fatigue. So you can fortify your water with any of the pro colors so you get a healthy juice, because I did see apple juice was very low on the list with the scores. So I've been doing this for 30 years. Actually, in December, it'll be 30 years that I've been in the field of natural health. I started doing programs actually in college around 1990. So about 30 years of doing this. My first career, that's why I divided this, was in the sports nutrition field. So I worked at Bally's Health Club, American College of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. And then I worked as a national and international sales manager for a sports nutrition line. And then I found out, with the internet and the quality control wasn't really where I thought it should be. So I went to work for Metagenics in around 2001 to work with healthcare professionals like you, Dr. Tracy, and all the patients. And that's where I met Dr. Weiner. He was one of my clients when he was down in the South Side, which was a long time ago. So I worked at Metagenics and I progressed up the ladder, and I'd probably still be at Meta. And the only reason I left is because the company sold. So we started Nutritional Frontiers in 2008. I did own NutriPharmacy for a couple of years, and now own World of Wellness in addition. So our mission is making the world healthy. And our philosophy at the Wellness Center is get you healthy and keep you healthy. And this is how we do it. A little, recognition for, of course, the one and only international icon, Dr. Weiner. Without him, I wouldn't know all you people that I know. So a lot of great relationships. The legacy continues with the Weiner Wellness Week. And I just want to thank Doc for all of his mentorship and guidance all these years. And a couple of key things that stick out in my head about Dr. Weiner. One, as he always said, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So you got to be open-minded to what's out there and what's potential. And the second part of it is, waiting for someone to answer the phones. I think they will soon enough. The second part is that, Doc always said, if you give the body what it needs, it can heal thyself. And that's the concepts that we've learned from him over the years, and we continue. So we're going to talk about today, if your labels can talk, and actually your labels do talk. There's actually a device available now that you can scan labels and it will read it for you. So if you don't have great vision, or if you're not understanding what the label's saying, we're going to try and help you today. And like I said, they have some of these devices out there to help you read labels. Have you seen those, Tracy?
I have not, but I'd be interested. I'm sure it's an app on your phone. There's an app for everything.
Yes, there is. So we're going to help you understand better what the labels are saying today. But, you know, we do free vitamin reviews. I had a gentleman in yesterday and a woman, and they kept asking me for single nutrients. And when I started looking, good morning, how are you doing? When we started looking through all of their products, I realized they're buying a lot of single nutrients, right? But there's so many different pills, vitamins, packaging that's out there. So we do a free vitamin review. So if you have any questions or you'd like to bring your vitamins in, you can bring them in a bag. We will take them out. We'll help you look at them. And the goal is to give you more comprehensive formulas so that you're not playing a guessing game with what you need and how much. So bring the vitamins in. You can schedule an appointment with Jeff Nisnik. You can bring them in during the Wellness Week. We'd be more than happy to do a quick vitamin review for you. And I guarantee I can at least cut your vitamins back by 30%, sometimes as much as 50% or more, depending on what you're doing. And we're looking for therapeutic dosing. And we want to make sure we're building that health pyramid. The great thing is when you look at this pyramid of health, we can accomplish every step here with 1 scoop of Power Cleanse and 1 scoop of greens. And that's what I did this morning for breakfast. Most days, that's what I do, at least 1 shake. And right now, most of this year, I've been doing Power Cleanse and greens. And that will get you the probiotics and enzymes. It'll give you vitamins and minerals and macronutrients. It'll give you your essential fats and all your phytonutrients just in 2 formulations. And that shake will cost you less than $5 per day. So what a great way to get everything you need in. Tastes great. It's going to help give you all the food you need. It replaces a meal, and it takes a lot of the guesswork away from you. So let's look at labels on food first. So there are no original ideas. I stole this from Dr. Tracy. And very simple. I'm a simple guy. If it's from the ground or a tree, if it swims, flies, or runs, it's probably good for you. Now, I know some people are vegans and some don't eat fish. That's fine. We're just giving you some simple philosophies. And when you look at the nutritional content of vegetables, they're so nutrient dense. And Dr. Weiner would always say, you know what? You should probably drink your water and eat your water and drink your food, right? So what he meant by that is that the fruits and veggies have a lot of water in them. How many times, Tracy, have you met with a new or an existing patient and they say they drink a lot of water and you find they're dehydrated?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And, sometimes a lot to one person is not a lot to another. So defining those things really helps.
Yeah, it's funny. I asked my daughter that the other day. I says, how much is a little bit of money, right? She says, I only need a little bit. I said, well, that's very relative. A little.
It's all relative.
$1,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's not just how much water you drink. Is it getting inside the cells? And that's key. So you want to eat your water and drink your food. That's why I do the Power Cleanse and eat a lot of fruits and veggies. Some of the best sources of these, and I don't agree with every food on this picture, but some of the best food sources of antioxidants are fruits and veggies, calcium, iron, all your minerals, your proteins, complex carbohydrates. So I like to combine some of the shakes with the whole foods. As you can see, I don't see many wrappers on these. And I always say, make it simple. If the grocery stores were closed, could you find the food on the planet? So again, ground or tree, runs, swims, or flies. And these are just some great examples. And I love Dr. Deanna Minnick. She's a PhD I work with at Metagenics, and she works for the Institute of Functional Medicine. She makes it real simple, and she speaks at all types of conventions and medical schools, and she says, eat the rainbow, right? As many different colors as possible. You don't want to eat the standard American diet, which is usually gray, right? Not a lot of color in that. So first thing is we look at a food label. So one of the things that jumps right away is the serving size, right? There's 4 servings per container on this, right? You'll see this with like Pop-Tarts, right? Where it's 2 pastries, but they break it down to 1. Well, most kids will eat both of them, right? Same thing with a soda. It'll have in there 2.5 servings in some of the bigger bottles. Be careful, because if you're consuming the whole thing by yourself, you got to double all this by 4. So 1 is serving size, 2 is the amount of calories. Then it breaks it down into the macronutrients. When we say macro, we mean large. So protein, fat, carbs, and fiber. Protein is a rebuilding block of all your tissue. A lot of people think of it as muscle, but it's not just muscle. Protein builds all your tissue. And then carbs and fat are energy. That's why you probably have heard of people doing a low-fat diet or a low-carb diet. The problem is when you do a high-carb and fat diet, which is standard American diet. So it's very simply look at serving size, calories, macronutrients, and then the micronutrients are in smaller amounts, milligrams or micrograms, and those are going to be your vitamins and minerals. And then they may have a percent of daily value. Macronutrients and micronutrients have a percent of daily value. Some other herbs and nutrients do not. So that's what you see in food. And here we go, Pop-Tarts. We've never eaten them, of course, but I've heard there's 2 pastries per packet. So if you're eating 2, you got to double the calories. So 170 grams, 170 calories, you have to double that, right? You got the fat. Look at the sugar, Tracy. 40 grams of sugar, right? That's
This is what kids eat.
Coca-Cola.
This is what kids eat for breakfast sometimes. And then they go to school and they're expected to sit still and focus. And if they can't, they're put on medication, not because they need it, but because their little brains can't even slow down. It's terrible.
That's a great point. And the brain works on glucose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have this huge dump in of sugar into the bloodstream, glucose goes really high and you're flying. And then what happens is that glucose comes screaming down. The big shifts in sugar are what gets you. That's why I always say, if you're going to have a dessert, have it after the meal and split it with somebody, right? Don't make the dessert the meal. And that's what happened with breakfast. It's not only food. We're going to go into cereals and breakfast bars and toast and pancakes and waffles. All these things dramatically raise sugar in the morning. They should not be consumed at all. And if so, very sparingly. Why not have a nice dessert that you split with a loved one or some friends after the meal? It's not the meal. And that's a concern on this. So you look at the vitamins and minerals, 10%, right? Not enough to do anything. And actually all that sugar in there, you know, if they consume this with a Gatorade or a Coke or a soda, they're getting 80 grams of sugar. That's more than you should have in a whole day. Yeah. But this is very common, right? Used to, right? Look at you now. You look great. So you look at an apple instead, right? People say, oh, it's all sugar. Look, I don't want to hear that fruit's bad for you. Too much of anything is bad. But fruit has some carbohydrates. It also has some fiber, right? That's the difference. Is you balance out, it has almost 5 grams of fiber. 20% of this is fiber. Plus all the vitamins and nutrients and antioxidants you find in fruits and veggies. And again, this is a snack. You eat this in between meals and it'll get you to that next meal. But look at the difference in the calories compared to Pop-Tarts. The challenge is that even the good food today, that's why we recommend the Pro Colors, even the good foods today don't have anywhere near the nutritional content that they once did, right? You think about why is this occurring, right? Well, most of the meals are eaten out of the house, so you don't know what you're getting, right? I found that at home now. My wife's working with Dr. Ashley Razi, doing really well, and she wanted to go out to eat with me. You know, she's like, oh, I can't, you know, I ate something the other day and it made me really bloated. I really notice it now. So she has all the organic food lined up in the fridge and all the meals are prepped properly. So the challenge is that if you eat fruits and veggies, they don't have the nutritional content they once did. So I always say buy organic whenever you can, or the local farmer whenever you can. That's the first step you do. Even then, you probably need to supplement your diet with some nutrients to make sure you're meeting the minimum requirements, because things like greens are down almost 90% of magnesium. And lo and behold, what's the number 1 nutritional deficiency in the world? Magnesium. Number 2, vitamin D. Number 3, omega-3s. So magnesium, vitamin D, and omegas. I love this one, the breakfast of champions. We saw how that turned out, right? So a lot of people think cereal is healthy, but wait, Tracy, I'm using skim milk. Is that better?
Yeah. I was going to say better than what?
Yeah.
Better
Yeah,
than
better than the
Coke,
whole milk?
apparently.
Right.
Better than
So
Coke.
I'm going to put my glasses on for this one, but if you look at this, it says whole grain wheat, sugar, salt, and corn syrup, which is sugar, right? BHT added to preserve the freshness, right? This is mostly carbohydrates processed. There's no protein
Isn't BHT an explosive? It is. It's an explosive.
Be careful how much Wheaties you eat, right?
Yeah, be careful, Jimmy. Don't jump too hard after your Wheaties. You might blow up.
And I get it. Some people say, oh, there's no fat in there. And, well, it's not a complete meal, right? There's no good quality fats. There's no protein in here, right? And you're getting a little bit of fiber, which is actually new, but it's mostly sugar. When you look at Power Cleanse, you're getting all your protein, carbs, fat, fiber, vitamins and minerals, and liver support. So that's what you should be doing for breakfast. And if you want to eat, or you have to, say you're going out, sometimes we'll go out for brunch on the weekend, always start with a veggie omelet and go to places like I do, like Fresh Kitchen, First Watch, that have good quality nutrients in it. But do Power Cleanse at least 5 or 6 days a week, if not every day of the week, because that's going to give you everything you need. And I can tell if I don't do the Power Cleanse for breakfast. I feel a lot more energy when I eat it. I feel more full, and I'm not craving. What about you, Tracy? I know you do the Power Cleanse a lot.
Yeah, if I skip it, then I'm starving. So I have to do it now. If I don't do it for breakfast, I do it for lunch, but absolutely once a day. It makes such a difference in my life.
Yeah, and I also use it strategically, right? So tomorrow's my anniversary. Maybe we're going to go out to dinner and so eat a little more rich foods. So I may do it 2 times tomorrow, right? I may do it depending on what time my meals are, what time I get up. I may do it for breakfast and then an afternoon around 3 o'clock. Because if you're going for long periods of time without eating, you tend to eat a lot more at that next meal. So I like more balance. I like to eat 3, 4, sometimes 5 meals or shakes or snacks in a day. That's not uncommon. So it's the quality of food, it's the quantity of food, and it's the timing. The other factor with the Power Cleanse is we know exactly what's in it. If you go out to eat, there's no way you're going to know exactly what's in that food. So even if you try and look at the portion size, you're not going to know. Power Cleanse, we know exactly how many calories, how many nutrients it's in there. And I don't really get into counting calories. I rather count nutrients. So I do 1 scoop of that with the scoop of greens, and fantastic results. So we are accepting new members to the Shake a Day Club. We have all types of people here raising their hand that want to join us. And like I said, strategically, that was me on Easter. I knew I was going to have a bigger meal in the afternoon. So I did my workout in the morning. I did it's so long ago, we had the old label on the greens. I did the greens, the Power Cleanse twice. I did it in the morning, at lunchtime, and then I coasted into the Easter meal. So I didn't eat as much as I would normally eat because I did the 2 shakes that time. The other thing is I started off picking more on the vegetable tray than any of the other things there. So have a strategy. Don't throw in the towel, right? I understand if it's Christmas, you're having a bigger meal and those types of things, but always have a strategy going in. You'll feel a lot better on the other way out. So we looked at food. Now we're going to look at medications. These medications have so many things on there to read, but a lot of this is your information. The medication, this is actually on metformin, how to take it, and then all the different descriptions on there of where it comes from and lots and things like that, number of pills, refills. So you should become familiar if you're on prescription medication. This happens very commonly. It's very common, Tracy. I ask somebody what medicines they're on. They're usually not sure. They say none. When I dig a little deeper, they're on a few medications. And lo and behold, they may not even know what they're for. Mm-hmm. Have you ever found that out? You ask somebody what that medicine's for. Oh
And I
yeah, I'm
find
not
the
sure.
same thing with the supplements too. Like they just read it on Google one time and they started taking
Yeah.
it, and then they've been on it for 3 years, and now they don't know why they took it. So same thing can happen on both sides, which is why your supplement review is such an important service for people. But this one, the other part of that, James, is they don't read the inserts. They don't look at the
No.
contraindications. They're not looking at what medication should not be mixed with other medications. Like you can go on and on and on because people just trust. But if I say
Yes.
something like, hey, take the supplement, they're like, well, is it safe? Like, do you ask your
Yes.
doctor that when he gives you something with known side effects? No, probably not.
No. Somebody yesterday asked me about could they take the vitamin with the blood thinner? Would it interfere? I says, I sure hope so. Because one of the side effects of the
That's
blood
right.
thinner is death.
That's right. I
So
hope
you
so.
want to
Yeah.
And we have healthcare professionals. Mike Gallagher's here. He's got 25 years of experience, very passionate to help you out. Someone earlier asked me about turmeric for cholesterol. I says, we have it, but I don't recommend it. You already have the cholesterol in your hand, and I gave it a diet program. I says, I wouldn't add the turmeric on. I don't think it's the best thing for cholesterol. They had heard it or read it online. So we want to give you exactly what you need, no more or no less. And look, supplements, over-the-counter meds, or prescription, at least know what they are and what they're for, because these can be really dangerous. The other thing is if you're combining, I call it polypharmacy, where they recommend more than one medication at a time. How many studies have been on polypharmacy on humans?
0.0.
Yeah, none. So they are doing the studies. It's on you. So be careful. The other thing is if they're using a blood pressure med and it's not working, they had the second or third one on. That's not a real good idea. That's setting you up for failure. Magnesium is the first thing we recommend for blood pressure. 7 flowers. There's been studies we looked at where just walking for 30 days will improve modest reductions in blood pressure, right? I know for me, the 7 flowers worked really quick and fast, gave me great results. My blood pressure has never been high, but it was creeping up a little bit the last few weeks. Took 7 flowers. I got it tested yesterday, right back to normal. The other thing is over-the-counter medications. Just because it's over-the-counter doesn't mean it's any safer, right? They sell a lot of things over-the-counter that can be really dangerous, but Tylenol is one of the most dangerous because of the concerns with liver failure. And, acute alcohol poisoning is very common when people take Tylenol for a hangover or a headache. So be careful with these medications. If you look at this right here, liver warnings, this product contains acetaminophen. Severe liver damage may occur if you take too much, combined with other drugs, have 3 or more drinks, right? You start looking at this and you get the synergy of the over-the-counter medication with some of the things you may be doing. Allergy alert, right? There's a lot of concerns on this, right?
I
These
mean, literally, we
medications
should ask the audience how many people have ever read the Tylenol box. I'll be honest, I've never read a Tylenol box. I don't even have one in my house, but I've never read that in my life.
Yeah, and these over-the-counter pain relievers, the ibuprofen or the acetaminophen, these were designed for acute relief of pain. 24 hours, that's it. Because within 48 to 72 hours, you can have kidney, liver, and GI damage. And what we found from all the surveys out there, the people that use the over-the-counter pain relievers are chronic, heavy users. Not a good idea. So we highly recommend to try and get away from these as much as possible. They were not designed to take for more than 1 or 2 days. Even in the hospital, they don't overprescribe acetaminophen because they know it can damage the liver. So many issues here. Allergy alerts, right? Skin reddening, blisters, rash. Do not use if you have other drugs containing this. If you had an allergic reaction in the past. So if you have any liver issues, right? How many people do you know now non-alcoholic fatty liver disease?
Yeah, you hear that so much now.
Yeah. So it's from the trans fats, maybe from Tylenol. It's a synergy of these things together, not just one at a time. So a lot of negative synergy. This was interesting. This was, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. The FDA actually warned that they detected, I love low levels, right? Doesn't matter any level of cancer-causing chemicals in Zantac. This used to be a prescription. Now it's over the counter, right? They put this out in the New York Times. I read it. And I went to the airport that day, and I was at the Hudson News getting some magazines for the flight, and it's sitting right on the counter for sale. So apparently they didn't get the article. So folks, you got to do your own homework.
Wow.
You got to make sure you are educated on these things, because you may not ever hear about it, and they're not going to pull it off the shelf all the time. So buyer beware. Walgreens, Rite Aid, CVS moved to stop selling the heartburn medication Zantac and generic versions after the FDA warned they detected levels of a cancer-causing chemical in samples of the drug. So they said, while the FDA continues to review this product, we pulled it off the shelves, because I'm glad they did it. It may be because of health reasons. It's probably more of their concern with being liable with a legal issue, right? So there's many other things you can do instead of Zantac. And why do people need this? Usually because they have a really acidic diet. They're dealing with a lot of stress, right? They're not drinking a lot of water. They're drinking sodas and teas and too much coffees and those things. So we've helped many people with heartburn that come to the world of wellness. And sometimes it's as simple as recommending something like Probzyme. And sometimes you have to do a physical maneuver with the chiropractor. We're actually doing an adjustment on the stomach. Is very effective. So Probzyme is our version of it. It's safe and effective. It can help children, infants, kids, or adults. It has a combination of probiotics and digestive enzymes. It's vegetarian, gluten-free, and dairy-free. Tastes fantastic. And it works great for acute or chronic relief. I know you use this quite a bit with your kids and your patients. What's some of your feedback?
Great. I've been using it, for years now, but it's easy, tastes good. Kids will take it. Adults will take it. High compliancy. So no complaints, just all positive.
And we have 3 flavors, right? We have
Mhm.
fruit punch, grape, and cherry. What's your favorite?
I like grape.
Oh
an
my
old school
God, 2 days
80s
in a row,
girl.
me and Dr. Casey agreed on something.
That's
Mark
right.
this down, Phil.
That's been 3 times
Man.
this week. 3 times during this webinar.
3 times. Wow. Can't believe it. But we came out with the new flavor because my daughter loves it. My kids on vacation, you're eating a little more food. You're eating out a lot. We always take it on vacation. It's it's fixed in my refrigerator all the time. Anytime the kids get a quote unquote bellyache or a little bloated, they'll take 1 or 2. So you can use it as you need it. It's great for prevention. And I even like to take it if like Super Bowl party or you're going to a birthday or something, you can eat a little more food than you normally do. Take 2 before you eat, and it will dramatically improve any bloating that you have. One of our docs years ago, younger chiropractor, he says, I meet with my buddies once a month. We have beer and some pizza. He goes, and I was getting really sick from the dairy. He says, but I can take 2 Probzyme before I eat, and I can have a slice or 2 of pizza, and I'm fine. So you can use it as you need it for those situations that normally you wouldn't be feeling too good. So let's look at prescriptions. We have Lipitor, right? Lipitor is a cholesterol-lowering drug. It's in the group called statins. What it does is it works on an enzyme in the liver that produces cholesterol called HMG-CoA reductase. That enzyme also creates CoQ10. So when we shut off that enzyme, we're shutting off cholesterol production, but we're also shutting off CoQ10, which is a valuable nutrient that's involved in ATP or energy production in all your skeletal muscle, plus your organs, mostly the heart, the liver, and the brain. So when you're lowering cholesterol, and you're also lowering CoQ10, some of the side effects may be you're fatigued, you have muscle aches or joint pain, you're more tired, you want to take a nap. Happened to my dad. He went back to the doctor. The doctor says, well, you're getting old. He goes, I'm only 4 months older than I was when I was here last time. And the only thing I did differently was take the medication. They scared him to death. And I said, you got to lower it or take CoQ10 with it. This is what happens. A lot of these medications deplete nutrients. In most countries, they would take Lipitor with CoQ10. And this is not an opinion of ours. This has been proven. Here's some of the side effects associated with Lipitor. If you notice this, they say contact your doctor. The doctor prescribed this medication because he or she judged that the benefit to you is greater than the risk of side effects. Well, you're putting your health in their hands, right? And I understand if your cholesterol is 400, it may be different, right? A very small number of people, Tracy. How many is a very small number?
I guess that's all relative, right?
More than one, right? And if it's you, it's a lot, right?
That's right.
Mild memory problems. Well, we see a correlation with long-term statin use and Alzheimer's disease, otherwise known as type 3 diabetes. Rarely statins may cause or worsen diabetes, right? Rarely, but it could. So again, let your doctor make the decision, or how about you make the decision? And if you're going to do a medication like this, maybe go with the lowest dose possible and change your lifestyle. So 40 milligrams is a high dose. 10 milligrams may be a lot more appropriate if you go down that path. The drug rarely causes muscle problems. Again, rarely, right? Muscle pain, tenderness, weakness, and signs of kidney problems. Lipitor decreases CoQ10 production by 40%. Think about that. If you shut down the power in your house by 40%, would you notice a difference? Yeah, right? So basically half your house has no electricity. Wow, that's going to create a lot of problems, right? Same in the body. If you're taking Lipitor, you can shut down CoQ10 production by about 50%. And that's where you're going to experience some of these rare muscle problems, muscle pain, weakness. It's been proven, folks. It's not my opinion. It's been proven with all the research out there. And in fact, if you read the pamphlets, you have to unfold them. It may get really big. It may be the size of this room. But if you read the inserts, everything's in there. And oftentimes, some of the things that the medicine is recommended for, like a blood pressure med, one of the side effects is it may increase blood pressure. The body's responding back to it. So if you're having liver problems, you may have some jaundice, dark urine, stomach pains. You know, there's a lot of concerns down the road about this. So we know cholesterol-lowering drugs block CoQ10 production in the body, right? So if you are taking those medications, I always say the first thing you do is stop the bleeding. So the big four are, if you're on any medication, especially diabetic, cardiovascular, blood pressure, cholesterol, antidepressant, the big four are vitamins, minerals, probiotic, and CoQ10. So if you're on medications, you have to take those nutrients to at least stop what they're depleting. Any thoughts on that, Tracy? Because I know you've seen a lot of cases with people on medications with side effects.
Oh, yeah. The side effects are normally due not only to the toxicity of the medication because it's foreign to your body, but the deficiency that it creates. Right. So, yeah, I mean, if they have to take it for a period of time until their lifestyle changes, then you can complement it. I mean, so many studies, I just don't know why doctors don't recommend it off the bat, but they do.
I think, yeah, when I've talked to a lot of them, they say one is that they don't believe that it will work. Or two, that patients won't follow the program. I said, let the patient tell you that.
Right.
But I did a presentation back in 2005 at Jacksonville Shands Memorial Hospital. It's a chain of about 12 huge hospitals in Florida, similar to UPMC. And I presented the NIH, the National Institute of Health, recommendation. They call it the ATP, Guidelines for Cholesterol Management. And I said that, hey, in the first 12 weeks, what the NIH recommends is lifestyle and plant sterols. And the one guy put his hands up and he says, what'd you do, just make this up? I says, no, it's from the NIH. I says, actually 2 years old. He got really upset because he wasn't familiar with it. And then his reaction is the other thing they always say to me, oh yeah, we read all these studies. You'll see improvement, but over time the cholesterol goes right back up. I says, only if the lifestyle goes back to a poor lifestyle.
Right.
So if you need help with cholesterol management, we have an incredible formula called Cholesterol Red. This combines the Google lipids, the plant sterols that the NIH recommends, red yeast rice, which is a more mild, natural form of the statins, and then we add CoQ10 at 100 milligrams to it. So great formulation. We have niacin, we have the trax minerals in here. So it's an all-in-one formula. You take 3 capsules per day with our lifestyle, and let's wait 12 to 16 weeks to really see what type of results are we getting before you jump right into the medication. So the last thing is we're going to look at the last couple minutes is supplements. So again, serving size. Oftentimes people come in, the serving size on a product, they say, well, why is it 3 capsules? Well, that's for you getting in 3 capsules. We don't use a lot of tablets because the tablets are compressed, and a lot of tablets will have epoxies like Centrum. They're really hard to break down in the body. And we actually have x-rays that show Centrums don't break down, right? So the supplements, it'll have the ingredient listed, the dose per serving, and the percent of the daily value. And the percent of daily value are just enough to really keep you alive. The RDA we call really dumb amounts because there's no therapeutic effect, right? It's like drinking 1 cup of water a day. It'll keep you alive on a deserted island. It's not going to make you maximize your function in the real world. So we have recommended daily allowances, and then we call it therapeutic doses. So why take a vitamin? There's a lot of reasons: poor diet, lifestyle, stress, soil depletion, over farming, herbicides, pesticides. And we even showed that, a lot of the good foods are deficient in the nutrients. And if you don't believe me, how about Harvard Medical School? Has anyone ever heard of Harvard? Do we trust Harvard Medical School? Well, Dr. Fairfield and Dr. Fletcher say even people eat a normal diet may not be getting enough vitamins according to their research. And because low vitamin intake has been linked to a host of illnesses, they recommend that everybody, regardless of age or health status, takes a multivitamin. Now, when I first read this, I thought our industry would explode. This was 2002. It's almost 20 years. Most doctors have never heard of this. How many people here doctors recommend a multivitamin? Most doctors don't. Why? They don't have time. They're not familiar. They may not know which one to recommend. So Eat Right and Change, they change their position from Eat Right to Eat Right and take a multi after 40 years. So we have a couple options for you. Frontier Multi, the Woman's Complete has been a huge addition. People really like that because of the therapeutic and comprehensive formula that's in it. So it has everything except for your fatty acids, except your fish oil, all in one. So this acknowledged that the role of vitamins in chronic disease, again, published in JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, back in June of 2002. Read that article right away and have passed on to so many different people to utilize. Research proves that people need the multivitamin. We said this time and time again. The main reason, number one reason, is overall health and wellness. Speaking of health and wellness, there's a good friend of mine, Mike, did really well in the keto shake, right? Looking good, dropped a few pounds, right? So doing great. And we're here to help people. So remember, when you look at a multivitamin, it's the dose of the ingredients, right? 100 milligrams versus 10. It doesn't end there. The form of the ingredient is probably more important than the dose because your body has to recognize it, absorb it into the cell, assimilate it, and excrete it. So it's a dose, it's the form, and then what else is there we don't want? Has anyone seen a Centrum? And it's what color? Yellow, blue, pink. Well, those are artificial dyes, not something you want to add into a vitamin. So Frontier Multi is in the veggie caps. There's a fruit and veggie base. Really easy to swallow a veggie cap versus a big tablet. And your body can break it down and utilize it a lot better. We talked about RDA, RDI, and DRI. Remember, RDA is really dumb amounts. It's enough to keep you alive. It's not going to give you any therapeutic effect. And this is really the key. The form affects the absorption. So if you have a really poor form vitamin, why would they use that? Well, it's really cheap to make, and it's easy to make. So we use chelates. Chelate is where they attach the mineral to a protein. Your body absorbs it like a protein rather than just a vitamin. So Trax is a patented research trademark ingredient. We love Trax because these are the best minerals on the planet. We utilize them in our multivitamin, Frontier Multi, Women's Complete. We utilize them in our Frontier Minerals, in our Mag Complete. So we love Trax. They're a partner of ours, and these are patented research and trademarked, much more bioavailable, and give you a better therapeutic effect. If you see oxide or carbonate on the label, you know right away it's cheap and has a laxative effect. We do not use oxides and carbonates. So if you see that on a label, not a good idea. And that's one of the things we can help you with is when we read the labels. Other ingredients. God, there's such a list here, Tracy. There's more other ingredients than there are vitamins in the formulation.
Yeah, it
And
says
what are
see
some of
other
the
bottle.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, we need a whole flyer. So some of the things, the first ingredient is carbonate. I just said that's no good, right? Oxide, no good. Then we got the BHT again. They like that one. What about the dyes that are in here, right? So there's I love the polyvinyl alcohol. What about talc? Didn't J&J just settle many lawsuits for what, ovarian cancer, for talc in the baby powder? And that's in the vitamins. So please don't buy the cheap vitamins. Whatever your budget is, let us know and we'll help customize a program for you. So supplements will break it all down. Bring your vitamins in and we can help you do this. The supplement facts tell you what's in it, and then the other ingredients are adders, binders, fillers, things like that. Some are necessary, like vegetable mag stearate. That's used in lubrication in the machine. So some of these are necessary. A lot of them are not necessary. Of course, we looked at choline. Not a good idea to do some of these prenatals. They don't have the doses you need in there or the form. So Woman's Complete has been one of our top launches. You see on the bottom right-hand side, it has 7 trademark patented research ingredients, strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. And this has vitamins, minerals, probiotics, superfoods, and DMG all in one. Have you seen another vitamin that has this many patented research ingredients, Tracy?
I know. It's so awesome. It's been one of our best ones.
And
Works
people
for
love it
everyone.
because you can do 1 or 2 a day. You can get 2 to 4 months out of this. It costs you 50 cents to $1 per day. And just because another one says a 1 a day doesn't mean that they can get more nutrients in there. You can do 1 or 2 a day of the Woman's Complete. No problem on that. And the winner is, of course, the Woman's Complete and Frontier Multi. So, folks, I appreciate all your support. If you have vitamins that you're getting elsewhere, bring them in. We do a free nutritional review. And the goal is to help you get better results on less product and to show you that how to read those labels. So thanks so much, Dr. Tracy. Thanks, Philly Phil on the board. Thanks for all the people watching here today. And we got millions of people watching out in TV land, right, Phil?
Everybody's watching.
Billions.
Billions.
I love it. Billions served. So
Well,
thanks
thank
so
you,
much.
Jamie.
We are here today till 5 p.m. We're here the entire week. Me and Tracy have to go on the road this weekend. We're going to the Trinity School of Natural Health event, but the rest of our team's going to keep the fort down and help you out. The event's going on all week through Saturday. So come on down and I can smell the food. I think the food truck's ready. It's time for lunch. Thanks, Tracy.
Time for lunch. Thank you. All right, guys, stay tuned because Erin Carey is up next, having a better relationship with food and also helping to enhance your brain and health. So stay tuned. Our noon lecture